Hey, Shalom Marcus, Rakam Kapashim, Jim Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chachadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video, right? And this is gonna be based off, some of the back and forth that Paul Kersey was having with the apostles during the New Year's Eve destruction stream, and also from discussions that I have with people, at work or whatever, man, just about certain things, and everyone feels like they're on the deep level when they've watched a bunch of YouTube videos or they've read a bunch of books, or they like certain characters and the information that they bring out. And it's not to say some of the information these guys out there bring out ain't good or on point on certain things. But if you don't know these scriptures, man, all that knowledge is irrelevant, But people think they're so clued in or keyed into things because they watch other so-called smart people of this world, break down certain things, and they just think, because their mind's blown. Oh, wow, that's super deep, right? They think they got the answers to shit that they really don't, The scriptures say the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, right? So even these top guys out there, these intellectuals that read all these books and done all this studying and research and into different types of things. Yeah, it's all well and good, isn't it? Like I said, not to say that all the information is off or anything like that. Some of it's on point, of course, but man, if it ain't gonna get you on the chariot, man, if it ain't the truth of what's going on right here on the earth right now, everything concerning prophecy and that, it's not good to you, man. And obviously Paul Kersey and the elders apostles were mocking him. He said, I'm still learning, because Paul Kersey got a lot of opinions, things he don't want to accept. So he always trying to come back with something because he don't like the apostles' answers or whatever. And if you don't know, if you're still learning and you don't know, and none of your congregation knows, you're meant to be, IOIC meant to, or Nate meant to know, meant to know these prophecies, man. But if they don't know certain things and they can't see certain things, then how can you be following them? If they ain't clued up, but you always got something to say, some sort of what do you call that, comeback, some sort of retort, or because you don't agree with it or whatever, man. But you said you still learning, right? So I'm gonna just start off here in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 7. Right? I'll just start from the top, actually. Right? It says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness." Right? So there's certain things that you do, right? Certain things that you follow, that is, you're trying to be godly, but you ain't got it all, man. This is why it's important to have 100% truth, man, because it's to show others their errors, man. Because otherwise, if everyone could have that element, that margin of error in them, then you could just say that none of you are right, or I'm right, But if we're saying we got 100% truth, you got something to measure it by, or we got a point of contention to say, look, you're doing things wrong here. If we didn't have 100% truth, we wouldn't be able to say that, right? But we're meant to be in a position, we're meant to have an unction to know all things. We're meant to be in a position where we can, rebuke and set people straight. You can't do that if you ain't got 100% truth, man. All right. But anyway, it says, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. Run to the hills, right? For this sort are they which creep into the houses, and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning, right? ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth, right? So like I say, you're with Nate, you're in the congregation, you're meant to be learning and growing and stuff like that, but you ain't learning the truth. So you're ever learning, but to what end? You know, what is it? What in the end is it going to profit you, man? If you ain't got the truth, you know. And it's the same. Like like I said, these guys that I speak to in the world and whatever, they always feel like they're learning something. Oh yeah, and they're probably learning something, but if they ain't getting closer to the truth, to the answers, what is the point? If they're not getting closer to the truth, what is the point of learning and learning and learning and learning all this information that just ain't gonna profit you in the end? Watching 1,000 debates. Jake loved to watch these debates. With these unconscious clowns and this group and that group. They love to watch it. They love to see the contention, man. And they feel like, oh yeah, that's deep. And they might take a little bit of it and make that part of their belief system or whatever, man. But ultimately, where did it get them? Where are they going with this? They still ain't got the truth. We have to purge out the leaven. If you can't discern what's right and what's not, then you're never going to be able to do that, man. You're never going to have to purge out that leaven. That means you're never going to get the truth, the whole truth. Which ultimately means that you're going to end up being destroyed at the end, man, because you ain't going to have the foundation, the sound foundation to really, to get through, these evil times that we're living in, because you ain't got the knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and you ain't going to have that. You ain't going to be stable. Lord ain't going to be dealing with you, man. So there's, what I mean? There's a little point. Oh yeah, I learned this and I learned that. Oh, did you know? Well, do you know the scriptures? Do you know the breakdowns? Do you know the prophecies? Do you know what the MOTB is? Do you know what the name of the Lord is? Because a lot of you guys don't seem to know. How can you follow a bunch of people that don't know? Right? It's 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 3. It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Okay, and this is what's happening with all these other camps. They're not enduring sound doctrine. Okay, they're just caught up in their leaders, a cult of personality, and they're just feeding them some things that are good, but other stuff is garbage. It says well, after their own lust show, they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. They always want to listen to some, these camp hoppers, man. They always want to listen to something and something new. And well, they said this, and but they said that, and but I watched this video and they was going into this, and at the end of the day, you don't know how to break down all that information, man. It's leaving you in the same state that you went in with, confusion, not fully knowing anything. You didn't get any, nothing made you whole by consuming this and consuming that. You were still left with confusion and doubt and misunderstandings. It says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth. All this confusion turns you away from the truth, because you can't digest any of it, man. It's not good food, right? And shall be turned away unto fables. Right, so like I said, you're taking in so much information. All this information is confusing, man. A lot of it contradictory, right? But you have to be able to settle on one thing. That's why we say, being with the elders apostles, we don't advocate that if you're coming into this, just coming into this truth, man, that you listen to all these different camps, man, because listen to all these different breakdowns and it'll get confusing. You got these questions and it causes doubt in your mind, and doubt is a fucker, man. That will fuck you up. If you got doubt, man, you can't get rid of that doubt. Well, you might as well not be in the truth, man. Okay, because we have to be 100% sure. Okay, that's what our faith is, right? To be 100% sure, no matter what's going on, our faith is strong, 100%. If you got doubt, your faith can't be 100%. That means eventually, at some point in time, okay, you're gonna break, you're gonna fail, right? So to say without faith is impossible to please the Most High. We have to be sure, right? You have to be sure. And you can't do that if you're listening to that, listening to this, and it's all a bit, a bit of a mess in your head. You don't know what up from down anymore, and you've got these questions and you don't fully understand it. You ain't gonna be fully armored up, man. All right. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12 says, "And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh." Right, getting all into these books, writing books, going from this information. Like I said, it's all weariness in the flesh. It's gonna break you down, man. All right, we know we got to study ourselves to be approved, right? Pardon me, Slakio. But hey, the flesh is only capable of so much, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not in super bodies, man. We can just download information like that, Hey, it's tiring, but you gotta put work in. Okay, but you gotta make sure that you're taking in the right information. You ain't got time to be going into this and going into that. There's so much information out here in the world, it's impossible in our state to to have it all. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? Get the truth. Don't worry about that other shit, man. Get the truth first. Fill yourself with that. Eat the roll. Fill yourself with that. And when you're on the level, you can dive into side topics or whatever, side knowledge, to further deepen the understanding of the truth and whatever, man. But all this other stuff, man, you don't need it. Okay, it's just giving you false false ideas, false beliefs, man. But you thinking it was deep, That's the sort of people you bump into in the world, man. People that think they're well read and stuff, and think they're educated to some sort of degree. That they're just taken away by all these different doctrines in the world, man. And they can't decipher through the bullshit. They don't know how to apply any of it. And this is why we say that everything that we do, man, is anchored by the Bible, man. The Bible is the foundation. The Lord's word is the foundation to everything, man. If it's not in agreement, well, we can't really deal with it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not compatible. So we have to have a source, an anchor point, a foundation, right? When you got no foundation, you're just taking this information and you just amalgamating it into this mess. And then you're developing your ideologies and your beliefs off that. It's a mess, though. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, fear the Most High Yahweh, and keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man." That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what we're going to concentrate on then. The Lord's word, the things that Lord gave us to do. All right. This is Acts chapter 17 and 18. And this is Paul, yeah? All right, Paul going to is it Athens, I think? Where do you see this? Yeah, Athens, right? So it says, then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him, and some said, "What would this babbler say?" Of some, he seems to be a setter forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them Yahushua and the resurrection. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, "May we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is?" Right? "For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears, and we would know therefore what these things mean." For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Right? And there's like a lot of people out here, man. Just trying to hear any type of things that sound deep. Things that sound deep. They like to dabble, in different things. Well, it ain't gonna lead you to the truth, dabbling in all these different things. So then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, "Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are too superstitious. So far as I passed by and behold your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you," right? And IUIC have a problem with the Lord's name. You might as well say it's the unknown God. You don't know. We don't know we don't know this, we don't know that. But But we're just gonna go with a generic term that everyone else has in Esau's world, Christ. You know what I'm saying? God and Christ. Because we don't know we don't, all these, but you're meant to be prophets. You're meant to be prophets. You're meant to know. If that's, that's what you're claiming to be, right? Men in the law, you're meant to know. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 3. Let's see. Upon reverence, for it is not needful to see the things. Okay. Yeah, some people try to go too deep with stuff, man. Let me go start in verse 21 here. So seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee? What's commanded of us, man? To know the words in these books, the prophecies, man, the breakdowns, the law, right? All these different things we're meant to know and we're meant to teach, right? Some things are not in the scriptures for us to teach because it's not meant to be taught. We don't need that in knowledge. I mean, you might know certain things, but it doesn't need to be taught. It's not relevant. Okay, we always speak about what's relevant for salvation. Some things just ain't. I don't need to know how much water's on the earth. Metric volumes and weight. I don't need to know all that. You know what I'm saying? How many stars are there? Okay, I don't need to know that. All these different types of knowledge that will come to us in time and in the kingdom, man. But you don't need to know that right now. There's certain things we just don't need to know. Right? We need to concentrate what's in this book. Right? We need to make sure we got everything in this book down packed, man, and understood. Right? So we could teach others, man, and so they can understand, man. Teach the elect. That's what it's for. That's what he's supposed to be doing. Right? This is says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Right? Some things are just kept away from us for now. And that's cool, that's fine. So you don't need to go search it all out, man. Alright? Be not curious in unnecessary matters. Unnecessary matters are things that don't pertain to your salvation. For more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. Right? There's, like I said, there's so much knowledge and information out there that we just can't really deal with, man. We're not ready for it. Especially not in this form. We're just not ready for it, man. It's just too much. Right? It's unnecessary right now. Right? It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. And like I say, when you try to take in all these different knowledges and information from different groups and all this kind of stuff, man, you make your own opinion about things, right? But like I said, if it's not accurate, if it's not the truth, then your opinion's BS, man. It's BS. It's no good. And everyone's living by these ways of things that they know, But I have to tell people, look, man, the Lord didn't say that though. But I'm sure it'll be alright with it. Like, they got their own, like, Lord changes and things like that. They got their own opinions about what these things are. What's true and what's not true. So it says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Like Kersey was saying, the MOTB could be a bunch of things. Well, no, it can't. It's only going to be one thing. It's only going to be one thing. So you better know what that one thing is. I said that, Marie. Right? This one thing. It's only one thing, man. And if you're a prophet of the Lord, or you're meant to know those things, man, because the Lord is meant to be sharing that stuff with you, man, so you can teach the congregation, man. If they don't know, or they got a list of things, a bunch of different things that it could be, then that means they don't know. And that's confusion. That's not clarity. There's no clarity there. So when the time comes, what are you gonna do? But the shooty thing is, right, for them guys, the IUIC and cats like that, the ISPK and whatever, right? Because somehow it's a bunch. It could be a bunch of things, right? But when we say it's the C-hip, nah, it can't be that. It's anything but that. You know, I know because he say he believed that it's the C hit, but obviously he believes it could be a bunch of other things too. But like I said, usually when we say it's the C hit, man, it's everything but that to these other groups, man. You know, which is just red flags all day long. You know. It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. Oh, what about the grape topic? Like you just, people are emotional, and they allow their emotions to guide their thought processes, and what I mean, just how they feel, and it's your own opinion, but it's not scriptural. What you're saying is not scriptural. We back up every time, and you make simple arguments, man, stupid arguments. Which I want probably do another video on that topic. Because the things he was saying in to counteract the elders and apostles, man, it was just stupid, man. You can tell he's like, oh, don't like that. Oh, but you can tell he was all like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But the scriptures is clear. If you don't like it, that's your problem. You got a problem with the scriptures, man. But it's there, right? Deal with it. I'm just going to close up with this. It's from Amos chapter 3, verse 7. It says, surely the Lord power, Yahweh, will do nothing but revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Right? So when we come out here and say that we know, what's wrong with that? The Lord has revealed it unto us, man. Just because he hasn't revealed it to you, these other camps, man, why you got a problem, man? You don't know. You don't know the name. You don't know what the MOTB is. It's a bunch of it. Could be anything. You know what I'm saying? There's so much you don't know. But when we say that we do know, or we got 100% truth, or we can't have that, but we just read here that the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets, or his secret to his servants, the prophets. It just means that you're not the prophets, man. That's what it means, that you need to shut up and listen, instead of spouting off the mouth and with all these vain thoughts that you have, vain beliefs that you have. It just means you need to keep your foot. Right, but people that are emotional or just just not made for this, man, they're gonna buck up every time. And that's just what it is, man. But we're used to that. Okay, it ain't gonna change what we do. We're still gonna go and teach what we teach. And like I say, it don't matter how many books you read and how many YouTube videos you watched or how many documentaries you watched and what knowledge you think you have. Right, like I'll quote it again. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. Right? It's not gonna affect anything that we teach, man. It ain't gonna confound anything in the scriptures. You can think that you think you know things. That's all right. You can have that pride in your mind or your heart, whatever, right? And you can have that vain opinion in your head, right? But in the end, those that are like that are gonna be destroyed, man. All right, you have to get this truth. All right, 100%. Okay, have have an understanding of these important things. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. I know this is edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.